Morning guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. Des here. Who's ready to wake up to walk? Who's ready to attack the day? As ever, I'm following my journey along the Robin Hood Way from Nottingham Castle up to the Major Oak in Sherwood Forest. And whilst I've got a really busy day today, it's really important for me to get out and attack it full on. I'll come back to the busyness shortly, but I'll just let you know I'm actually right in the heart of Sherwood, right in the heart of Robin Hood country at the moment. As you can see there, I'll just sort of go back a little bit. I'm at a place called Fountaindale, and this is the supposed point where Robin Hood met his great friend, the Friar Tuck. A real point of interest. So apparently there was a bridge here, although it's not here now, and some water. Enough water runs just along there, where the Friar Tuck, well, basically Robin Hood heard that the Friar Tuck was a big, strong, bustling guy who wasn't to be messed with. Robin Hood, boasting that he was the best arrows man within 100 miles, was informed by Will Scarlet that this guy existed, so Robin went in search of him. He found him here, and they had a fight. Initially, sort of on good terms. The big, strong, burly Friar Tuck threw Robin into the water, and apparently it led to a fight on a bridge. Like I say, none of that exists now, but it went on for hours. In the end, it was declared a draw, and the Friar Tuck joined Robin and his merry men, and the rest was history, so to speak. Of course, everybody knows that tale, apart from, rather bizarrely, Kay, my partner. She was basically, she was born and grew up about a mile away, and was totally unaware of that until we was talking on the way up here today, which I find absolutely staggering, but there you go. So at least one person will learn something new today. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? Learning new things and sort of coming to terms with the day and understanding where I'm at and what I'm doing. Just to sort of backtrack slightly, I started at a place called Thieveswood, about 4 miles south of Mansfield, kind of the gateway to Mansfield these days on the A60. Lots of interesting history behind the A60 as well, the main road from Nottingham to Mansfield these days. Well, it has been for a long time, in all honesty. It used to be a thoroughfare right from sort of the 10th century, from London to Leeds, and whilst it wasn't didn't carry the traffic it did today, it carried many travellers from south to north. And Thieveswood takes its name from, it used to be the home of many thieves who would ambush travellers and steal all the possessions and all the money. Do you know that it got quite narrow and dark, and the tall trees gave them ample opportunity to hide and, like I say, ambush travellers. There's a place called the Hut. It's now a kind of a foodie pub just south of Thieveswood on the A60, where apparently travellers, particularly if they was travelling on their own, travelling solo, would wait for other travellers, you know, to sort of pass through so they could team up and get beyond this particular point of the journey. And that's really, really interesting, isn't it? I didn't realise how much history there was behind the A60, a road I've used a lot. I mentioned Kay there, and travelling up and down to her parents these days. Just up and down in general, it's a busy road. Anyone from these parts will use a lot. It's it's almost a point to point from Nottingham to Mansfield. There's not many villages actually on the route, and that's another interesting tale, that throughout time there's been sort of local bylaws and laws where where villages weren't allowed to be built. Anyone who's local to Nottingham will know, like, Arnold is set back and Ravenshead is set back from the road, you know, because they basically weren't allowed and they'd be fined £8 at a certain point. Can't remember when that was, probably early 17th century I believe, which today would be about £5,000. But I always wondered why there was nothing on that road. You go through many old roads like that these days where they've been villages have been bypassed with newer roads, but that one still exists. Really interesting. So I thought I'd just pass that on. Just sort of left that, just crossed over it, and now I'm heading towards the end of my walk today, about 3.5 miles in, getting up to about 40 miles. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoyed that little spot there. You know, I have visited it before, and so has Kay, but she's obviously not paying too much attention. But I like to get out and make the most of what I'm doing. And like I say, I've got a really busy one in store. At 5 p.m. today, I'll be taking part in a 24-hour challenge of completing 1 mile on the hour every hour, supporting a good cause, MND, and a friend in their big fundraiser. And whilst I'm up early this morning, 5:30, the first alarm went off. Snoozed it a couple of times. Definitely burning the candle at both ends. But whilst that might sound a bit bizarre, I could have easily not done this today. I feel like I have to keep getting out there and doing what I do. Keep me ticking over, keep me enjoying what I'm doing. I am really busy. The weekend is shaping up to be an epic one with that challenge, with the fact the football's on tomorrow night, real big game again, as everyone's going to be from now on in, you know, and then a couple of friends for dinner on Sunday. You know, really looking forward to it. But I have to keep doing this, and this is the point I want to kind of make today. You know, I've had a busy week where it'd be so easy to let stuff sort of get on top of me, you know, and kick back and think, let's take a rest. And whilst that's important a lot of the time, I talk about the importance of that. This weekend I feel I need to keep pushing on, you know, and not dwell on the fact it's busy. The busyness isn't going to stop right now, you know. Got to keep working hard. The rewards aren't always there, so basically the financial rewards, the obvious rewards, I guess, aren't always there. So what I have to do is take rewards in the sense of having a good time, you know, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Finding some achievement. That's what this challenge, the walk, and the challenge this evening is going to give me. And whilst it'd be easy to sort of not combine the two, what I'm trying to do with the latter challenge is almost attack it without sort of letting it overtake everything. So I want to kind of do the challenge around my normal life. Of course, I'm going to have to find times to get a bit of sleep and get my head down. Hopefully I can get a couple of hours this afternoon, but it'd be easy just to let that take over, and that's something I'm determined not to do. I've got a garden party to attend this evening. Again, it just kind of adds something to it. It gives it a bit of purpose. You know, I'll get plenty of support from the people there. Really sort of appreciative of all the support I've got on this particular challenge. Particularly the 24 people that sponsored £10. Whilst it's not my fundraiser, like I say, I'm making a contribution of £240, which is not to be sniffed at. Do you know, whatever the situation, the guy who's raised a lot of money, over £7,000 now, which is really impressive, isn't it? But in my small way, I can make a small contribution. I can feel pleased I have, you know, and I can feel that great achievement again. So everything's pretty full on at the moment, guys. It's I'm kind of having to attack it without worrying too much about the consequence, and that may come next week. It might mean I'm tired, it might mean I have to take a break, I have to take some time back, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Do you know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Probably a great metaphor in what we've seen when Robin Hood encountered Friar Tuck. He didn't know what he was heading into, but it all came out. It all turned out for the best in the end, didn't it? And in reality, whatever's happening, whatever's on our mind, whatever's difficult at times, if we do keep pushing on, it's a word I've used a lot in the last 2 weeks. There's been no real theme this week. I normally talk about a theme on a Friday because it is so busy. It's just a case of pushing on, pushing through. So I'm kind of referring back to last week to keep putting it in. The rewards will come, and whatever sort of hiccups and distractions are caused, there's always a better day. When we're not feeling fantastic, which I touched on Thursday Thoughts last night, there'll be points in the next few months, in the next few days, next few months, next few years, where life feels unfair and horrible and nasty, and my mental health, although I'm okay, and the people around me's mental health, and people will suffer for whatever reason, but beyond that again, we have to kind of go again, don't we? And there's always that better day, and that's all I'm kind of pushing on for at the moment. I'm having a real good time. Everything I'm doing, there's no massive structure to it apart from doing one thing at a time, and hopefully it'll all fall into place. I'm gonna continue the rest of this. Hopefully you'll be able to check in through my social media on what I'm up to, where I'm at over these 24 hours. I'll be posting my runs on Strava. Sorry, there's a fly in my ear. I'll be posting my runs on Strava and some pictures on social media. Check those out. Check out the videos from in the week. If you can like, share and subscribe, I'll keep doing what I do. Hopefully it won't, sorry, there's flies everywhere at the moment. Hopefully I'll get a bit more time to think about it and push on. But like I say, I'm not too worried about that. It's just a case of doing one thing at a time, enjoying it, making the absolute most of it. Really, really looking forward to the weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to use the video I make. I'm going to record each of the 24 hours as Monday motivation to show why it's important to take on these challenges, even if time's against you, even if you're not feeling fantastic. Hopefully it'll just give you a bit of inspiration to get out there and do something epic too. Until then, guys, have a great weekend. Don't forget to post those Saturday selfies wherever you are, whatever activity you're doing. Make the absolute most of it. Just doing it.